A belief is a thought you keep thinking. A belief is a practiced thought. A belief is a vibrational pattern. So what you believe offers a vibration that law of attraction responds to. And there are no exceptions to that. So we were pleased when those who have been coming to the chair have been focused upon the fact that the chair wants to stay where it is. In other words, this is a sort of new thing, because usually people are tugging on the tape, but just focusing upon it is changing behavior, and that's all it takes. In other words, if you decide what you want to believe based upon the way it feels. So this is what we would do. We would wait until we are certain we're in the vortex, and we would acknowledge that in the vortex, meaning that aligned with source energy feeling, that resonance. And then from that feeling place, we would contemplate things that are important to us. Because you can enhance beliefs from inside the vortex, ever so much more quickly than from outside the vortex. So when you are wanting to eat something, and we know you are being playful about it to a certain extent, but when you're wanting to eat something that you believe is inappropriate, but you're wanting to eat it, and then you just say, well, from now on, when I eat this, my body will metabolize it and utilize it perfectly. That's not going to get you very far, because you're even bucking the current while you're offering the behavior. It's ever so much better to get into the vortex and then to get into the vortex and then. And what we want all of you to realize is, and this is such an important thing that this subject brings to more minds than perhaps any other subject, you don't have to hit head on the things you want to change. Because through the exploration of life and the dealing with contrast, you are putting the pieces, the improved pieces, into your vortex. Then you can use anything and everything that makes you feel good to get into the vortex, and then the vortex will affect the changes that you've already asked for. And it is so much easier to do it that way. Did you follow that? People will say, without even thinking about it, I'm getting these changes. And we say, you're getting those changes because you're not thinking about it, because your habit of thought about it is contradictory to what you want. Because this is the fastest way, and by far the easiest way, to prepare you, or anyone, to receive information or manifestation. In other words, what we say here and your reception of it is going to be a manifestation. So the easiest way to prepare yourself for a wanted manifestation is to be as general as you can be about who you are and where you are in life in general. So, generally speaking, I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be here. Glad that I got chosen. It's nice to have this opportunity to visit with Abraham. I have some things I want to talk about. I've been getting stuff from this. Already I sort of feel queued up to it. Really glad I didn't move the chair. Great group. They feel receptive to things. I can feel changes in the air for all of us. Looking forward to what's coming. Beginning to feel my power. Things are working out well for me. I sense that the universe is on my side. I love the idea of consistent laws that I can apply. I love getting a handle on my approach to all of it. I think I'm doing really well. I must be doing fine. I'm here in the chair. Lots of people to choose from, and here I am. My question must be queued up enough, and I must be in the vibrational vicinity. It's probably going to be a really good conversation. I'm going to get some clarity here. I'll hear what I'm ready to hear, and whatever I'm ready to hear is what I'm ready to hear, and I'm eager to hear what I'm ready to hear, and I wish Abraham would get on with it so I could hear what I'm ready to hear. But that's just a general dialogue that just puts you in the place of more likely reception, yes? So now you're in a general place, and when you go back to the specifics, because specific negative emotion, you're further from what you want. General negative emotion, you're closer. General positive emotion, you're closer still, and then off you go. But you see, we're not trying to get you to the solution. We're just trying to deactivate the problem by being general. Now, we were generally positive. Let's be generally negative for just a moment. I don't really know how this is going to play out. I'm not sure I can get my question out. Wish Abraham would shut up. I've been carrying this around for a while. That's generally negative, not specifically focused upon it, you see. So think about what the emotional manifestation is. It's one of unrest. It's one of discomfort. It's one of lack of trust. It's a lack of trust either in the law of attraction or in your ability to apply it. So let's play here just for a little bit. So does it feel to you, and you can tell by your emotional response to this, because your inner being has a very clear opinion about this, that your emotions are going to display your opinion and the relationship with the opinion of your inner being about it. So do you think that your stickler, as you say, or your issue is about your lack of trust in the consistency of law of attraction? Or do you think it's about your concern of your application or understanding of it? Is it about your worthiness? So the fact that you're looking for pretty steady evidence or proof and not finding it is practicing a vibration of the evidence being missing.
Yeah.
It's like looking for something that's lost and not being able to find it because you really believe that it's lost. And it isn't until you say, never mind, I'll get a new one, that it will show itself to you. But you have to give up the feeling of it being lost before you can find it. And you have to give up the feeling that it's not working for you before it can. So now let's go back to what we were talking about the vortex. Let's play this new process that we've been offering. So do you believe us when we say that the more you beat the drum of what you do not want, the more active it is in your vibration?
Yes.
You could not have started with a better premise, that what I believe is a thought that I keep thinking.
Absolutely.
And do you acknowledge that as you keep thinking that you need to check up on them because you're really not trusting the law of attraction, that that's a thought that you keep practicing?
Yes.
So you're keeping that really active in your vibration. So when you have a specific thought that is hindering you, the logical thing would be to just move to its counterpart. In other words, I know what I don't want. What is it that I do want? The problem with that is the vibrational variance is too great, and you can't get there from there. You just can't move your vibration that far and sustain it. You might be able to move it for a moment with the influence of someone else, but you can't sustain it. So you go back into your old patterns of thought, like moving the chair. We weren't writing you about it, you see, if we weren't calling your attention to it about it. So as you're focused specifically about this, you are keeping it active. So we want to focus less specific or more generally about this topic. Now, here's the piece we want to give you. You just had a manifestation. If you can accept that your heart rate going down, your improvement in the way you feel is a manifestation, then your former statement is no longer true, is it? Because you just showed yourself. Do you know everything you want? Everything you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it. And you just felt better. You got your manifestation. And now it will just flesh itself out and surprise and delight you in all those interesting, delicious ways.
Okay.
Now you can get to the specifics, you see. Now here's a really fun thing. So you were specifically uncomfortable, and then you were generally uncomfortable, and then you got generally very comfortable. Didn't it feel good, what he began to say? And not so specifically, but you really shifted energy. You shifted energy enough that manifestations began to reveal themselves to you. So now more manifestations are going to reveal themselves to you. In other words, that vortex doing its work. And so if that manifestation can be allowed by you, every manifestation that you seek can be allowed by you. So now you want to goose it up a little more if you want to. If you want to milk the moment, we would. So you can say things like, in the same way that I don't want to eat all the food that I'm going to eat for the rest of my life today, I don't want all of the manifestations to come today either. That would be overwhelming. I just want this steady flow of good feeling evidence of my value and of my worthiness and of my alignment and my creative ability. Things are really working exactly right for me. I can feel my power. I can feel the fullness of source energy flowing through me. These are good times. And so let's talk about what some of those manifestations are. First, that glorious emotion that you're feeling is a manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it. I want that and that and that and that. And if I get that and that and that, then I'll feel good. So it's the feeling good that's the manifestation that you're looking for all along. When you figure it out, that what you're really looking for is being in the vortex or being in full resonance with who you are, and that from that position then, that vortex in you, that complete full you, then affects the manifestations. And we've been saying it to you in many ways for many years, that You have to be in vibrational alignment with what you want in order for it to come about. And we've been talking about manifestations, but for most people, there has been a gap between this business of doing the vibrational work and the manifestations. And almost everybody says, okay, here I stand, I'm a manifested being, and I care about the what isness of my life. And we say, of course you do. Because what is. It's who you are. It's where you be. Everything that surrounds you equals the manifestation of this moment. In other words, everyone you talk to, the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, it's all manifesting now. So most people say, all right, here I am. I don't have as much money as I want. I'd like to manifest more money. My car, I don't even want to talk about my car. I want a new car. I'm really not very happy with where I live, and I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something better than what I've had. I'm looking for a relationship. So I want to manifest these things. And they feel like pinnacle things. They feel like big things. They feel like things off in the distance. I want to manifest these things. So I think I'll go to this stupid meeting. The science of deliberate creation, the art of allowing, the law of attraction. I'll go to this meeting and I'll figure out how to manifest those things so that I can then be happy. And so even though we visit in lots of ways, we talk about this year after year after year, almost everyone is still doing it that way. I want to fill in the missing pieces of my life, so I'm therefore willing to do whatever it takes to fill in the missing pieces of my life. And we say, and you said, and we know, and you know, that the only missing piece is the relationship with your inner being that you've been looking for. That's the only missing piece. That's the only missing piece. The cooperative components have already been gathered and are ready to manifest. You're just the missing link. You're just the holdout, not always, but sometimes, in being the cooperative component. So when you get it, that your work is to ignore what is, no matter what it is, to ignore it, to love it and appreciate it for the expansion that it has caused, but now get off of it and start feeling your way into the vortex. Feeling your way into the vortex. And what we've noticed is most of you won't make the effort to feel your way into the vortex as long as you have some other way of wrestling it to the ground and killing it. Esther said, I realized that I wasn't really lining up, because why line up? I've got people. I have people to call. Something goes wrong, I'll just call someone and say, can you take care of that? And the people around me are so efficient and so good at it that they can put out the brush fire almost as fast as I can set them. But in time, you come to this place, and you certainly have found this place, where feeling good is what really matters. And if we can convince you that the way you feel is what matters, and you have the ability to feel good no matter what now, because you have the ability to focus in a way that allows you to feel good no matter what now. If you can find the feeling place of alignment, what happens is then, in your complete alignment, where in your vortex, everything that you've been asking for has been gathered. Now, the vortex will lay the groundwork and create the path, the delicious unfolding path for the manifested discovery of what you're looking for. And that's what we started to ask you a little bit ago, when we want to say to you, isn't it delicious to have found the resonance of knowing, more than belief, of knowing your wholeness, and then to watch that wholeness be manifested again and again in a conversation, in a sweet making of love, in a manifestation of something that you want, in details of life that are delicious in every way, no matter what the subject of it. Because once you get there, once you begin consciously and deliberately manifesting from inside the vortex, then you know what else you get? You get the freedom of resistance, which is just divine. And you get something that almost all of you have been speaking about since you were very, very little. You get knowledge of your worthiness, because the manifestations just keep supporting the wholeness of who you are.